Hey, bro, Stu on my meat, bro. I just want everybody to know that.
Mm.
Y'all see Stu picture, right? This anime character.
Oh yeah.
Bro, he on my meat, bro. What? Look at my junk, bro. I got the kid version of that nigga. And I had it longer than him. He on my meat, yo.
Look like you both are dorks. Mm.
You a dork. All right. And you're a jerk. I know. Mm-hmm. I'm tired of your shit, bro. Oh, I gotta promote this shit, don't I? Still come back to the camera so I can screenshot this shit. Twitter. 3-way deal page. Dog, it is so hot in my house. I'm not feeling it.
And I told that bitch ass nigga Stu, I was like, yeah, you stupid, yeah. You a stupid ass
Shut the
nigga.
hell up, man.
Oh.
Go to hell.
Mm-hmm. Y'all over here fighting y'all fighting the pod, really?
Mm-hmm.
Just fighting the real you.
Fighting you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, real you.
You'll be the real you.
Mm-hmm. My shades back on. Oh shit! I'm supposed to be promoting. I keep forgetting that, man. I just want to sit here and talk sometimes. You know, I can't multitask.
Blickable.
Let's get that turned off before I started playing something on Twitter, and then y'all heard it. How we feeling today? Everybody feeling good, man? Feeling all right?
Pain. Mm.
Yeah, I'm good. My quarterback is halfway practicing, so I'm good. His ribs didn't fall off his body.
Mm-hmm. They ain't Tyrod that nigga, yo.
Nah, not yet.
That's good.
Poor Tyrod.
He be all right.
Yeah, I bet. He's
Having
finna
some.
win that lawsuit for $6 million. Well, actually, no, he's not, but still.
Like, you can try, yo. That's all that matters.
That's all you can do is try, son. That's
Mm-hmm.
all you can do is try. You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna have to respect it a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
That shit was crazy when it happened. Nigga Herb just popped up in the huddle. I was like, why is Justin Herbert in the huddle?
I was like, why is this nigga playing?
Mm-hmm.
I swear he just shattered his whole rib cage or something. I don't know. Excuse me. I'm fucking dying over here. Link in bio. Hey, Herbo underscore. Make it smaller. Student right there. DJ. Put it right there. Scoot it. Make it smaller. Boom. What's your name on here again, Don? Your Instagram name. You got one of those?
Don, what? It's the same as this name right here, brother. I'm trying to point right so it can look cool.
Skank the wrong.
Hold up. There you go. Yeah.
You don't know how to do nothing right here.
Broke his mic. Can't point right.
Mm-hmm. I was about to say something else, but we on airwaves, so.
Nah, y'all say it. You want me? I can pause the podcast right quick. I can pause it.
No, it's okay. No.
Nah, go ahead. We already paused.
I'll wait till after the pod.
Testing.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. 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 the haters on my body, shake them off. Are y'all ready to start this pod?
No.
I,
Yeah.
no, you're not. My bad. All right.
Nah, I am. Yeah.
No, that's cool. I could bullshit.
uh,
He watching TikTok, yo.
Nah, I'm on Instagram. I just seen the joint pop up. I'm
He
trying to
over here
promote to
watching
you.
twerk on TikTok, yeah.
No, my man Arnett made that sound too. Shout out my man Arnett, by the way.
Damon Arnett.
No, he's probably in Polk County Jail somewhere, brother. Yeah.
Oh God, what did
He's
he
a
do?
gangbanger now instead of NFL player.
Just like that. What's that boy that played on them Giants that was robbed them people for them?
DeAndre Baker.
Oh, you robbed him for the watches, gave him back, and still went to jail. I was like, God damn, sucks to suck.
One of your boys was in that too, wasn't it? Quentin Dunbar, yeah.
Nah, he was off the team. He was in Seattle by then.
He was in Seattle at that point.
And we don't play that around here.
Oh yeah, okay.
Not the players.
The Commanders don't play about criminality. Sure,
we don't do this shooting. We get shot and robbed, brother.
Nah,
right.
Bro.
I don't know who that nigga think he fooling, but it ain't me.
The players, they don't got no parts in that. You know what I'm saying?
No, there you go.
Here at Washington, we're the victims.
Yeah, they are.
Come on, man.
It's very sad.
Be fucking for real, man.
But I mean, is he lying?
Somebody lying.
Is he lying, yo? Look at Trent. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, man, I hear you, brother.
Why was I about to leave the studio? All right, let's get this road on the show.
All right, man, let's do it.
I'll fuck up some more. Y'all want to go back to the old look?
Hey, copy.
Hey.
Sip. Yeah. Sip. Yeah. Big bet. Tell me what you niggas really know about big tech. These niggas be swines, might as well be made of pig flesh. Might make an appearance, but that shit just for the quick check. We the jiggy niggas in the city, bitch dipset. I just made a play and I got double back. In a day, what you make in a month, I'm making double that. I can make the money come easy, I'll never fumble that. I might fill the tub up 100 to take a bubble.
Yeah. Put that shit on. We back.
Oh, boy.
We is back. Another episode of the Trey Trills. Let's go. 3-way deals. I'm your host, Grizzy Gray. Glad to be back. Glad to be here. I got my two co-hosts here with me.
Mm-hmm.
Got my man AJ Stitt.
He don't
Studio. Spank the Dawn. Show love.
I'm with Matt.
Stank the Dawn. Yes.
Spank the Dawn.
He was asking you.
Dinky bastard.
Your POS. But anyway, yeah, we back with another week. We here to wrap up week 2 of the NFL. Well, I mean, it's already wrapped up, and we technically on the beginning of week 3, but
oh god,
we're gonna talk about week 2 a little bit. We're gonna very interesting week 2. I think we can all say that. It's been a lot of comebacks, a lot of upsets, a lot of triumph, a lot of failures, man. You know, it's just been very wacky. Like Stu brought up earlier today. Why in the world are the top 3 leading passers in the NFL Tua, Carson Wentz, and Joe Flacco?
Weird start to the year, man.
Yeah, nobody would have guessed that. Nobody would have bet that. No parlays would have hit. You can't make one up. I don't care.
I see 3 elite players. I don't know what's the problem.
Well, I'm just hoping.
I see 2 in a playoff.
If I'm not mistaken, Tua's an up-and-coming guy. Flacco is a Super Bowl MVP. And Wentz was an MVP candidate. So what's the problem?
Mm-hmm. Now tell me what years those last 2 things happened.
Nah, listen, man.
I'm just asking.
I feel like you're being subjective.
Your legacy is timeless.
That is very untrue. That is like extremely false.
Nah, man. What they say? That pain is temporary, but that reward is forever.
Legacy
That
is
reward, that's forever, yo.
What reward Carson Wentz got?
the autograms, the Jim Browns. Huh?
Oh,
Time.
Nigga said
I didn't say
autograms.
award. I said reward.
Yeah,
All right.
what was
He
Carson
got a ring. He
rewarded?
got a ring. Yeah, he got a ring.
Right. Okay, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
I got you.
He got one.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the case at home somewhere.
Right.
He
He
gonna
should
bring
get
it
that
up.
Nick Foles, yo. Nick Foles had two of
He gonna bring one here. It's okay.
them. Oof.
But
Okay, let's get this pod started.
so this pod, we're gonna talk about wrap up week 2. Like I said, we're gonna talk about the worst, who we think probably is the worst 2-0 team, or what 2-0 team is least likely to make the playoffs. We're gonna talk about the best 0-2 team, or what 0-2 teams that we think are gonna make the playoffs or got the best chance to make the playoffs. And also we're gonna talk about having patience with young quarterbacks and talk about the rise of Tua and Jalen Hurts and other young quarterbacks, and just quarterbacks that we probably need to take more time on, or quarterbacks that the time is up and it's time to move on and start looking for replacements or other routes at the position. And also I'm gonna throw in a little bit of Q&A for the guys. We're gonna talk about the concerns that I see that some people have around the league, or people ready to hit the panic button, the red button, the eject, abandon button, whatever you want to call it. People ready to hit that button already, and we're at week 2. So, yeah, we're going to get it popping with that. How cool with that?
Yeah.
All right, bet. I'm going to start it off just to get everybody creative juices flowing, get the debates in the air. We're going to talk a little concerns, all right?
Okay.
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 7 for y'all. We're gonna try to keep it short and sweet. All right.
Okay.
All right. Bet. First concern: Rams offense and Stafford's arm. How concerned are y'all from the Rams standpoint, not from just from y'all? Put yourselves in the Rams position, or as a Rams fan. And I guess y'all can say on a scale of 1 to 10 how concerned you are. 10 is hit the eject button, the panic button, and 1 is we all right.
I'm listening, dog. You the resident Stanford stan.
No, Aaron Donald. All right. I just like whoever quarterback is on Aaron Donald's team. I say it's about a 6 though, because really the offense is still clicking. I mean, it did good against Atlanta, even though Atlanta has nobody but Amazon drivers on defense. It was still clicking. It's still a dangerous offense. You still got to deal with Cooper Kupp and stuff. It's tough to do it, but you might want to kind of consider sitting Stafford just a little bit. It looked like it just needs a little rest, but you can't afford it because your backup is John Walford. So it's like it's a tough situation, but it's something that the Rams can endure. And plus the defense is proving itself. It's still somewhat good, somewhat stinky. It's enough. The elite guys are still the elite guys. So it's something to be concerned about, I think, in the deeper run. But for right now,
So for Stafford, I'm at a 14. I think he's cooked. I think Stafford's right arm is cooked. And I think that now that this injury is gonna linger on, since I don't remember him having surgery or getting it fixed or anything like that. I just think he won't be able to make the tight window throws like he was last year and in years past, and he just won't be as effective with this injury. Now with the offense in totality, probably like a 6. I still think McVay is one of the 3 best play callers in football. Cooper Kupp's top 3. Allen Robinson came alive against Atlanta. But that offensive line is not good. It's not a good unit at all. Yeah. I don't think that this is gonna be able to hold up throughout the year, man. Like, I think they'll make the playoffs because of how talented they are at the front end of the roster. Like they have, the guys: Aaron, Jalen, Bobby, Stafford, Kupp. They have stars of stars. I shouldn't even have said Bobby Wagner, but get Bobby Wagner out of there. But they have stars of stars. They have stars, so I think they'll be fine record wise. But I'm not. I cannot see them winning the playoff game. I really can't. I just can't.
It depends on who they play.
I don't care if they played.
Us.
I don't. Sure, yeah, sure. The Commanders. I still wouldn't be 100% confident in them winning the playoff game because that's 19 weeks from now. Or no, it was week 3. 16 weeks from now. Stafford's arm going to get any better?
No,
Is the offensive line going to get any better?
probably not.
I don't think so. I don't. I think they're on their third string tackle now, unless I'm thinking of something. Maybe I'm thinking of Tampa because I know Josh Wells just got hurt. But I know their left tackle is Joe Noteboom. Logan Bruss is hurt. So, yeah, man, I'm not all the way there.
Okay. All right. Me personally, I'm at about because I'm gonna just group them together. I'm at about an 8. I'm not gonna lie, just because of what Stu said. The how he went from a 14 to a 6 on the two ends of the spectrum. But yeah, man, Stafford looks pretty bad. Like Don said, he probably needs a rest. Probably needs something, but they can't afford to do that. The offense is the team is very talented. Well, it's top heavy as fuck, but they probably do very good to still make the playoffs or have a be close to making the playoffs, which will put them probably in a bad position in the future for them to need a quarterback, and then they're gonna have to go back into that purgatory hell of when they had Jared Goff for all them years. So
Hey, that was a Super Bowl.
I mean we had that 1 year, and then they went into the purgatory of them being like, "Damn, we're good enough to look good enough, but we aren't because Goff just ain't it."
Right.
But yeah, I feel like that's the purgatory they just going to end up going back into if Stafford's arm is cooked, and then you back for looking for another quarterback. So yeah. Number 2, Irsay's boys. In total, how you feel about the whole team? I'm just talking about coaches, players, not really management, front office, but coaches, players. Right now, they're 0-1-1. Not looking the best. Matt Ryan kind of looks like poo. How we feeling?
Okay. So my problem with the Colts going into the year was they have no proven pass catchers not named Michael Pittman.
Nope.
So let me ask y'all 2 questions, or 1 question really. Who is the highest paid wide receiver on the Colts right now? Who's making the most money this year?
Probably Alex Pierce already.
No.
I would. Paris still there?
No. Yeah, he is, but it's not him.
Who the hell is on that team? It's not Ty. Not there no more. Is he?
No, he is not. The highest paid receiver on the Colts right now is Ashton Doolin.
That's my boy.
Ashton Doolin. Now, I did have 2 questions. My second question, who's the highest paid weapon, like offensive receiving weapon on the team?
Mo Alley Cox.
Mo Alley Cox.
He earned it.
There's Don, please, man. Please. There's just no way. And I get it. The money doesn't really matter because if you get a superstar in the 6th round, he's still a fucking superstar, so it wouldn't matter. But that's not the case with the Colts, man. That's not the case. Like, if, again, it's about depth. If Michael Pittman goes down for any extended period of time, they're fucked. They are fucked. And then you got Alec Pierce and Pittman go down for 1 game, and they were completely fucked. Like, it was just bad. The second part, the offensive line isn't good anymore.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say it. It's just not good anymore. It's not. Braden Smith is fine from what I've watched for the most part. Quentin Nelson hasn't been the same since that injury. Ryan Kelly was bad last week, Roll Tide. And their starting left tackle is Matt Pryor, and their backup is Bernard Raymond, who was a tight end 3 years ago. Right. It's bad. I am Extremely concerned. Like a 17 and a half out of 10 for the Colts, man. And Matt Ryan, he doesn't look like awful, but he's clearly not as good as he was last year or clearly years before. I'm all the way out on the Colts, man. I'm all the way out.
Yes, sir.
I'll be honest with you, it's so sad. We was laughing, we was joking about it at first. But Jacksonville really has a chance to win that division.
Right now, Jacksonville's the best team in that division.
They are.
It's only been 2 weeks.
So yeah, everybody's 1-1 or 0-1-1.
I just want to remind everybody, it's been 2 weeks, and the first 4 weeks of the NFL season is really the preseason because nobody plays their starters for real. So I want to just say that. But the Jags look like the best team in the division.
Yeah, it's looking bad. I mean, but this is the same issues we keep talking about. I feel like we've been talking about quarterback being an issue for the Colts, at least since Andrew Luck retired. I mean, Phillip Rivers, yeah, he was nice, but we all knew that was a 1-year rental.
They've had a new starting quarterback every single week one since Andrew Luck left.
Yeah.
It's been 6 years, Don. 6.
Oh my God.
They've had a new starting quarterback every year.
And the problem is, too, you keep bringing in these bridge quarterbacks thinking you're close to a chip, and when you don't get a chip, now you get a draft pick that's not good enough to get a franchise quarterback.
And they don't push their chips all the way in to go get a franchise quarterback in the draft anyway. Where they really fucked up at for me was last offseason. Why didn't you throw the kitchen sink to get Stafford? You should have thrown everything you possibly had. Yes, Stafford was coming with his risk before we knew Stafford's arm was on the way to being cooked. We knew that before. Yeah. But he was going to give you a better chance than Philly Riv did, than Carson Wentz did, and damn sure Matt Ryan did. So this isn't a shot more so at the players. This is a Frank Reich, Chris Ballard diss from me. They are the most overrated coach and GM duo in the league by far. Like, it's not even remotely close. Them guys, they drafted well a few years, and then they think that's all you have to do. Well, shit, I drafted Shaq Leonard in day 2. You know, I got Big Q. I drafted Kenny Moore late. I drafted Julian Blackmon and Braden Smith and Ryan Kelly and Michael Pittman, all these guys later on the draft. So I'm just gonna keep doing that. It's not how this shit work, man. They're bad. They're in a bad spot, bro.
I think they'll really bad spot. I'm not gonna lie. I think they'll blow it up. This season not gonna go good. They'll blow it up.
They should, but again, you gotta realize who the GM is. It's Chris Ballard. He's gonna keep doing this shit. He's never gonna push his chips all the way in or all the way out. He's fine with being, we're a solid team. We're good enough. And right now, shit, I don't even know if they're good enough. I don't. I really don't.
Mm-hmm. All right. Next team. Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh, okay. Well, as far as the Raiders go, I'm not too concerned because I think it's a chemistry thing. It'll click. I mean, like that game against Arizona, it was bad, mostly because your defense stinks really, really bad. But also, you know, that fumble it's typical Raiders luck. I mean, it feels like Raiders always have something like that happen, but the talent's there. I think it's enough to win some games, but you know, they'll turn it around. But that defense, I'm not gonna lie, some might have to happen at the trade deadline or something, because you're just missing a lot back there on the back end, badly. Good God,
I think
they better than
go ahead.
They better than Denver.
Are they? Like, are they though?
I think so. Just because I think I'd rather mess with McDaniels over. I think Hackett is really bad of a coach.
He's horrible. We'll talk about Denver, I'm pretty sure, relatively soon on here. So I'm not going to go into him, but Hackett is terrible. But the Raiders, they paid for Chandler Jones. Chandler Jones is like 52nd in the league in pass rush win rate. That's just not good enough for somebody who's making $17 million a year. I don't think he has a sack on the season.
Nope.
And I think Max Crosby is a very, very, very good player. His pressures do not equal sacks. And when you're playing against Kyler Murray, you can pressure him as much as you want. As you see on that 2-point conversion, he will run around like a fucking toddler for 35 seconds if you let him. And he will score because that's how good he is. But offensively, I think we overrated Hunter Renfrow. He's not nearly as good as everybody wanted to say coming into the year. He's really not. They were like, oh, well, they got Tay, Waller, and Renfrow. Why the fuck y'all keep saying Hunter Renfrow? What? Name something Hunter Renfrow does well. Name it.
I'm not gonna lie. He had a breakout year last year, and if you know,
Name
what I'm saying,
something Hunter Renfrow does well.
I get what you saying. He run that. Okay, he run that arrow route like a
he runs one route.
He run that arrow route like a motherfucker.
Pivot route. That is it. That's the only thing he's good at.
That whip route, yeah, he run the shit out that
him
motherfucker.
Him and Cole Beasley are the same player. They're the exact same nigga. They're the exact same player.
Cole Beasley all pro.
That's true. Cole Beasley was all pro. He stole that all pro from.
he robbed like 10 niggas from
that. Stole it from DK, but yeah,
he robbed like 10 niggas of that award.
He robbed the shit out of somebody. They was like, oh, white slot receiver, all pro. But like, bro, Hunter Renfrow don't do shit. He has 3 fumbles on the year already. 2 of them were on back-to-back plays, and he somehow recovered one against the Chargers week 1. He's not fast. He's shifty. He's just not as good as everybody swore he was. And then Derek Carr isn't as good as everybody swore he was because he beat the Chargers in week 18 last year. Like let's be fucking for real, man. Derek Carr ain't thrown 30 touchdowns since 2014. 2014, bro. LeBron was on the Cavaliers in 2014, young. Like, we being dead ass right now. That's how long ago this was. That whole offense as a whole was overrated because they can't block, and there's only 2 good weapons. And one of them is coming off a bad hamstring injury, but Waller's doing fine now. I'm not as concerned about them as I am the Colts because I still think Tay and Waller and Derek Carr can do enough to win some games.
Yep.
And I think Patrick Graham's a good defensive coordinator.
Yep.
But they're not making the playoffs. When you get to 0-2, it's damn near a graveyard, son. So, yeah.
Sheesh. All right. My concerns for the Raiders, I'm up and down, but I'm at like a 4. Definitely. Like
oh yeah, I didn't say my number. Like a 7 and 6. Yeah, 6. That's
for this, well, yeah, like 4 or 5. Yeah, 4 or 5. Because
nothing like crazy.
Because it's when you got Tay and Waller, I feel like it's just always a glimpse of hope in there.
Right. As long as those guys can stay healthy, you'll be fine offensively eventually. You know what I'm saying?
All right, but here comes my favorite one. Y'all ready?
Okay.
Joey Burr.
The Bengals or Joe Burrow?
The Bengals.
Okay. The Bengals.
Yeah.
I'll say the Bengals. Actually, give me both. Give me both individually and as a team.
Okay.
I mean, Joe Burrow's a good player. He has the ability to catch a good streak every now and then. So I think he'll turn this thing around because even then when you watch the games, they're fighting back. It's just they start so ugly. You just can't come back. My issue is with the same person as last year and the year before. It's Zach Taylor. He's an awful head coach. He should have been fired, but his roster was so talented. They was like, oh, no, let's fight and accidentally go to the Super Bowl. So now
nigga say
yeah. So now we got a situation.
No wasn't trying. We know that.
Yeah. So, didn't the Bengals re-sign Zach Taylor? Extended him after that, right?
That's what happens when you go to the Super Bowl, man.
Did we not forget we was getting ready to fire him? Come on.
Winning cures all, brother. That's how the NFL has always worked for real.
So I feel like right now, the Bengals are in a space where they have a good roster and they're thinking it's a win now situation with all the talent, and they're almost there and they're knocking on the door. and on the other side is the head coach with a chair underneath the doorknob.
Okay. All right. So there is two underlying problems with the Bengals right now, to me. The quarterback is doing two things horrifically wrong. They're facing a lot of too high coverage. You're not getting the explosive plays you were going to get last year. He's still hunting for those explosives while not being able to get them as regularly. So he's missing checkdowns, and that results into pressure because the offensive line can't fucking block for 7 seconds, Joseph. That's just not how football works. They're not going to be able to block that long. Two, he's still holding on to the ball too long, even when the routes aren't going downfield. Like if they're running the Chargers' favorite play, stick. If somebody's not wide the hell open, Joe Burrow's not pulling the trigger. And the offensive line has improved individually on the interior. Maybe this is the I went against Michael Parsons tax, but Jonah and Lyle Collins getting their ass spun, nigga. They are getting smoked out there, bro. They're getting killed, man. So where the offensive line is strongest, you would think they're not performing well, and your quarterback's not performing well. I mean, what? How do you win games like that? Like the Bengals, if you look up the pressure rate and how much pressures they're giving up, they are a little bit above league average. They're not giving up a huge pressure rate. What that means is most of those sacks are quarterback sacks. So your quarterback has to be better, your tackles have to be better, and they can't run the ball. They couldn't really run it last year, and Zach Taylor was trying that shit early in the year. He was like, you know what? First down, they got a 345-pound nose tackle on the field. We're going to run that shit straight at them. And it never worked for like 9 weeks. And then they was like, oh, well, we have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. And then that's when the offense started clicking. Can't do that no more. We're playing too high. We're playing two-man, too high. We're not letting you get those easy explosives off. So they have to find a counter to either Burrow has to just be better in the pocket, or they have to find something in the intermediate or short game. Because the defense ain't playing like awful. I think it's playing fine.
Yeah, they're not terrible.
They're fine. So who did they play? The Steelers? I mean, everybody. Fuck, looks fine against the Steelers. Who did they play last week?
No, they ain't played. They played Dallas.
They lost to Cooper Rush and Mr.
Yeah, they played Dallas. Yeah,
They only gave up 17 and 23 or something like that. So the defense isn't playing bad.
Yeah,
but they also aren't playing good offenses. So I don't want to say anything about the defense. They're doing enough. It's an offensive problem. I'm very concerned about that. Excuse me.
Fuck the Bengals. That's all I have to say. All right, last three. Let's try to keep these a little short. All right, the Tennessee Titans as a whole,
they're done. I ain't gonna lie, they're done. I'm dead ass. They're done. It's over. Like they had their run, the window closed. Vrabel's probably gonna end up gone, but he's gonna be hired fast by someone.
Mike Vrabel might be hired the minute the press release comes out. As soon as they say Mike Vrabel is fired, then they're gonna be the Saints coach or something. I don't know anybody. Cowboys.
Other than that, it's blowing up. I don't know. It's done, man. It really is done. Like who they just played? They played Buffalo.
Yeah, that was.
Oh my God,
Lord.
Well, hey man,
that was bad.
But I have a question. Okay. When did we all think that we see the first rookie quarterback sighting? And it happened in week 2 already.
Oh man, I thought it was definitely going to be Mitch, like midway through Mitch or Marcus.
Yeah, like I'm thinking we all like maybe Ritter, maybe Mitch.
Yeah, maybe Pickett.
Like week 8, 9. We week 2 and we already seen Willis, bro.
Bro, they took him out. They took Ryan Tannehill out at the beginning of the fourth quarter. This is the same week where we saw 3 teams come back from 14 or more in the fourth. They was like, you know what? This shit ain't happening.
Nah, that wouldn't happen. That wouldn't.
The Titans cooked, man. Tannehill's not good. Derrick Henry looks fine, but he can't go nowhere. The line is bad.
I don't know.
The
Like,
line isn't
yeah,
good.
I saw that. It's not him. I think it's the line. I don't think it's
The
him.
line isn't good. And Derrick Henry's never been, this elusive guy anyway. So it's not like he can overcome that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Defense,
They face two great defensive lines. A lot of people don't
for the most
understand
part,
the Giants' defensive line.
is really good.
And
And Wink is a good coordinator too.
they play
Wink is a
hard.
good coordinator.
He
So
is. I give him that.
And the only bright spot on Tennessee's offense this year has been Treylon Burks. He's looked relatively good.
but it's
That's it. I think they're cooked, though. I think they're cooked.
I definitely agree. Concern button as a Tennessee Titan fan is on 10, 11, somewhere in that ballpark. Yeah, I'm beating that shit. Sorry, no. All right. Don, kick this one off, yo. How concerned are you about Baker Mayfield and your Panthers offense?
I was there concerned. We stunk to begin with.
Nah, because people had high hopes on Baker to come in and
Ain't nobody
be
had
a little
high
bit
hopes.
better. It was a Baker. What happened to the Baker Revenge tour, yo? What happened to
Everybody hated
that was just for Cleveland.
doubters.
Yeah.
I gotta
Everybody
prove the
hated
doubters. I
Baker.
gotta be better. I'm not that bad of a quarterback. I'm a top 16 quarterback ish.
He played good against Cleveland. It wasn't his fault.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm asking you. How we feel about Baker and the Panthers, yo?
Baker is okay. Very.
I
okay.
just lead with the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
That's what make the money right there.
Very okay. He's very okay. It's just, sometimes he holds on to the ball too long. Sometimes he thinks he's Josh Allen. You're not that athletic, buddy. You got caught by the police in college trying to run away being drunk. All right, you're not an athlete.
Come on, man.
What?
Come on, man.
You're not that much of an athlete. But this is not a surprise though. We're a bad team. so this should be happening, honestly. I'm glad that it is happening. Let's go 0-4. Whatever it takes to get Matt Rule out of my life, it's fine with me.
I don't know, yo. It sounds like your GM just want to keep giving this man chances, yo.
I think McAdoo might be the worst offensive coordinator I've seen us have in a long time, since probably Mike Shula. So
Jesus,
so that's pretty bad. He's awful. We throw the ball on first and second down the most out of any team.
Good.
And we
Good.
also
throw the ball early.
But we also get first downs the least. And we're the worst on third downs.
I don't know if I can say that I'm concerned because I never thought the Panthers were good.
Exactly. There was no expectation.
I never thought they were good, but I also didn't think that the offense would look this bad. Like, just looking at it on paper going into the season. An offense with Robbie, DJ Moore, CMC, and an okay quarterback should be an okay offense.
Yeah.
It's not. It is a bad one. It is a very bad offense.
And the crazy thing is, it's mostly not even on the talent. When you look at the games and look at the plays, this man.
I disagree. Because DJ Moore is not getting open.
Okay.
Robbie Anderson is not getting open.
Even if he's not getting open, we're not shifting, switching in receivers to see who can get open. We're not doing different, diverse routes. When you watch a Panthers game, you're going to see mirror routes every play. It just makes no sense. There are no plays. There is no receiver going across the middle. Everything is out. Everything's mirroring out. It's disgusting to watch right now. It's truly disgusting. And now they got like swimming floaties on McCaffrey. So he's not getting the touches. They're so terrified.
They do be blowing me, bro. McCaffrey got to break one of his 7 touches or my fantasy cook, yo.
Like, bro,
be blowing
you said they got training wheels on that.
You signed another running back to help out. Run the ball. Oh my God, if he gets hurt.
Y'all got Foreman, right?
If he gets hurt, he gets hurt, bro. Just at least try. Jesus. Like,
no, they got Big 12 great Schubert Hubbard.
No, he's
God.
Yeah, he might get cut. I ain't gonna lie. We just signed a running back today, so he's on the watch.
Man, he was supposed to be generational, yo.
Why? He wasn't even generational at Oklahoma State, brother.
He wasn't. My bad. He just had the numbers. My bad.
Generational. He wasn't even sensational, brother.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
Whew, that's hilarious. That's what that is.
I bet. Last one.
Right.
Submitted by anonymous fan.
Mhm.
If you're the Packers right now,
No, we're good. We're good.
I have a question. I got you a Packers right now. Your level of concern of your division being wide open.
It's not. I don't think it is. You seen what happened?
The division being wide open.
Yeah, you see what just happened to the Bears, brother? They still the Bears.
But that's the Bears.
Exactly.
We talk about now, but we knew the Bears was gonna be like. Come on now, we knew the Bears was gonna be the Bears.
Mm.
The
Now
Vikings,
you got an aspiring. You know what I'm saying? You got the
always got
Vikings.
this streak of good.
As long as they don't play on Monday or Sunday night, you got a chance with the Vikings. And then
Or Thursday.
Or Thursday. Just anytime that's just not. Give them a 1 or 4 o'clock game. We got a game, all right. And then you talk about the Lions. I'm not even gonna lie. You put in the Lions into some context, and they play hard, and they ain't gonna go away. And with the lack of the trenches that that the Packers are starting to receive, and the injuries that are coming in and rolling in on their offensive line, you never know how them games gonna go. Especially because they're playing in the cold. You ain't gonna be able to throw as much. You're gonna have to tote that motherfucker. So the trenches coming big.
My only thing with Detroit, everybody on that team is good, but at the end of the day, football still come down to your horses.
Ooh, excuse me.
And
right.
Detroit has no game changers. Not yet, at least. They expect
You went to that Jameson Williams boy get in there. And for one,
wait, hold up.
That's cap.
We gonna have to start respecting the other wide receiver that's just been
Amon-Ra has been the best receiver in football.
I just watched him obliterate my team, yo. We gonna start respecting him, okay?
Okay. The Lions
just wait till Detroit come to Carolina and he do that to JC or whoever.
What's the surprise? What would be the surprise? We're bad.
I'm just saying. Don't say they ain't got nothing. They got a horse over there.
They don't have elite players. They got good.
Yeah, they don't have an elite guy yet. I won't say Amon-Ra is elite. Yeah, I got to see him do it for a season. But they have really good players offensively. Yeah, they have very good players. Detroit just don't have the horses in the trenches defensively for me.
Yeah.
Because eventually, I hope so, eventually Bakhtiari and Elton Jenkins are going to come back. Then what do you do when you're in a tight game in the fourth quarter and A.J. Dillon back there and you got to tackle that nigga 3 times in a row to win a football game?
Do it.
You can't. You can't.
What's that middle linebacker named Nick I said about to say Sirianni.
What's that boy name? Malcolm
Rodrigo. Yeah, I knew it was something funny.
He's him. Yeah, he's like that. But still,
he got it.
You got to get to him first. The Packers' offensive line is still fine without those guys. They're not as good, clearly. But Aaron Rodgers is going to get it together because Christian Watson and Dubs have been open for 2 weeks. Yeah. They've been open. The first game was just a mirage, man. I'm not worried about them getting their ass beat. And the defense is the defense is very good still. So I'm not concerned about the Packers.
I'm concerned about their run defense a little bit.
In the division, who are they going to have to consistently stop run game wise that scares you? Dalvin Cook is mid as he's mid. He has not been good recently. He hasn't. He just hasn't, man. He hasn't.
I like that.
Now, DeAndre Swift is a different animal. Because I was looking at the stats early. DeAndre Swift has 200 rushing yards. How many carries do y'all think DeAndre Swift has?
13.
He has 20 carries. That's like half of whatever Jonathan Taylor or Saquon got. He's cooking. But
he got 10 yards a carry.
I feel like the way that the Packers play defense, and they have a really interesting linebacking duo. Have you ever seen a linebacking duo that's so fucking big? Devondre and Quay Walker are huge Nigga, I never noticed it until I watched the Bears game. I was like, why do they look so fucking imposing? They're both like 6'4", 240 with vines for arms. So I think as long as the interior is okay, they'll be fine, good enough against the run to hold up. So I'm not concerned with the Packers at all, man. I'm good with it. They'll have to show me that somebody is clearly in that division, clearly better than them on both sides of the ball before I'm concerned.
That's fair. That's fair. All right. Let's dive into the next part of our segment. We got the worst of the worst. I'm gonna like make this a little bit more interesting because I feel like we can all like come together and probably say the Giants are the least likely to make it as the 0-2.
I hate to say it though, but I like them, man. I do like them.
I mean, yeah, it's true, but yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's like the scapegoat easy way out of this.
Right there.
Like, yeah. So I'm just gonna remove them from this and let's do it from there. How about that?
Sounds good.
So we got Philly, we got the Bucks, we got the Bills. Oh, where we at? Yeah, Bills, Dolphins, and Chiefs. Worst, not worst. What team is least likely to make the playoffs out of those five?
So it's Bills, Bucks, Dolphins, Chiefs,
Eagles.
Eagles. There we go. That's the 5th team. Okay, Bills, Bucks, Dolphins, Chiefs. Okay.
They all making.
I think they're all going to make it. Personally.
Yeah, I like honestly like.
But if I had to pick a team, it would be the Dolphins. It'd be the Dolphins. Yeah. Now, as y'all know, I love the Dolphins' offensive skill set players. They have the most explosive wide receiver group we have ever seen. Ever. Tua has to be more consistent. I have to see him be more consistent throughout the year. The offensive line is still bleh. And the comeback was cute and shit, but they were still getting smoked by Lamar and them. They were getting cooked. They were down 35-14 with 14 minutes left to go in the game. They
wasn't
gave
it one
up a
kind
lot
of
of buckets, man.
Wasn't it a crucial play in there that kind of it kind of like helped them or turned the tide in that joint? I got to rewatch that game. It was some, the Dolphins-Ravens game. It was something else that happened like in the 4th quarter that helped them get that win.
I mean, besides them blowing 2 coverages on the fastest man on the planet, I mean,
okay.
Them niggas just let Tyreek Hill loose. And it was on Kyle Hamilton, but still, they were just letting them loose. So
I'm gonna have to go look at
it. It's probably the Dolphins, and because they have to play the Bills twice, like they have to play the Bills. I'm pretty sure they play the Chiefs this year. Pretty sure they play us for sure. I think they will, but if I had to choose a team that would implode, it would probably be Miami because we don't know as much about them, like consistency wise as a group, as opposed to Philly and Tampa and the Chiefs, the Bills, and whoever else I'm missing.
So
I think it's Miami too. But here's the thing with Miami. It's the power of Tyreek Hill because it's so hilarious. Seeing them play is kind of reminding me of the Chiefs of last year, where the Chiefs would start ugly. They would start ugly, start slow. Mahomes would look inconsistent. Everybody's questioning him. Tua was looking the same. And then out of nowhere, these lightning flash plays just puts them back in the game. You just look up again. Look up, they're catching up. You look up again, they scored again. It's a 1-score game. You look up at the scoreboard, end of the game, they won. Like, what can you really, how long can you keep that up? How long can you keep that up? The Chiefs were able to keep it up because they had Travis Kelce too, and Patrick Mahomes is generational.
And they have a good offensive line, man. Chiefs' offensive line was really good. I don't know if I can say that about it though.
I don't know how much it is yet though.
Yeah. What do you do when you're facing a team that's not the Ravens, that's better than the Ravens, and you're starting slow and they just won't let up? What do you do when the explosive plays of Tyreek Hill and Waddle is gone? Then what? So that's going to be their 2 biggest mountains to climb this season to really find out how good they really are. So that if it's a weak link, even though all these teams ain't weak links, I think it would be Miami. But the way Tua's playing right now is very good. He just has to start as good as he finished.
Yeah, and that's a kind of exactly how I feel about it. Just like how you said, how long is this necessarily going to last with you being able to play from behind or just rely on your lightning strike, lightning strike touchdowns and offense and whatnot. The Dolphins, they still got a pretty good defense, pretty solid. You know what I'm saying? It's not 100% terrible.
I like
You went against Lamar and the boys. I understand. You ain't gonna be able to stop everything. It's probably 9 times out of 10 to beat Lamar is gonna have to be a high scoring game, or beat a quarterback of that caliber. You're gonna have to score a lot of points. So I ain't gonna put that on the defense, but yeah, man, it all just comes down to like how much is the other team gonna allow you to give up, like how we saw in the Super Bowl, when what is it, the Bucks and the Chiefs played. Same story. Came out flat, continued to be flat. Thought you could hit some cheap shit down the field late. Thought you could get some shit down, you know what I'm saying, down the field. Just didn't work because they were, strong defensively. Their IQ was on point. They stuck to the game plan. They wasn't folding. They wasn't letting up like how we saw. Just how, like Stu said in the other podcast, naturally, when you're up 21, 28, whatever it is,
Let down.
you naturally just
It's
start to
human
relax.
fucking nature. That's how humans
Like,
work.
that's just what it is. Like, you be like, all right, bet.
How it is, man.
2 quarters
We got
left. We
these
up
niggas.
20. We up 24. Like, these niggas ain't like that. So yeah, let's relax. Then next thing you know, you down. You only up 3 and it's fucking 7 minutes left. Now you back in the dog fight. So like, yeah, that's all I feel it comes down to is who they play and how well like other teams are gonna play. I feel like that's what it really comes down to. Not necessarily them playing down the competition, but their competition playing up to them.
My kind of counterpoint to are they going to be able to keep this up? What what would tell you that they're not going to be able to keep this up? Like it's not like they just got one Tyreek Hill, nigga. They got two of them.
Sure.
They have two of the same. They have the two most explosive players in the sport. Like you typically, that y'all remember that long catch and run Waddle had against Baltimore last week. Caught it like in the middle of the field, and they were backed up on the goal line, and he it was like a 65-yarder or something like that. That's a stick nod. How many teams can run a damn stick knot in the middle of the field with their 5'10", 185-pound wide receiver and get 65 yards on any given play? Like that's just it's just not normal. Like go back and watch that game, and we all got NFL Plus, so use the all 22 and go watch some of the Tua 3-step drops, just the 3-step drops. And look how fucking far 10 and 17 are up the field already. It's like we've watched football, and Gray, you've played football forever. We're accustomed to kind of like knowing how far down the field wide receivers typically get on 3-step drops. It's not the same with them niggas. You're never going to be able to. There's no practice that you can get in to prepare you for what you're about to see when you play them. So I don't know if they'll ever have to like not worry about getting down so much. I mean, you don't want to because you don't want to have to keep playing from behind, but like they can as long as Tua's not fucking horrible. And both of those picks Tua threw were god awful. They were fucking abysmal. And this was at the early part of the game. I was like, oh shit, maybe they're not that good. And then he turned into fucking John Elway in the second half. So I get it. But like, it's an unseen dynamic that these guys like. Even the what was the Eagles nickname when they had Macklin and Deshaun and the Dream Team? Is that what their nickname was?
Was it the Dream Team?
I think it was the Dream Team or something like that.
Yep, Biz Young said the great
Some shit like that. They're faster than them niggas. Like, bro, we've never seen speed like this offensively. So maybe they can keep it up. I don't think they're gonna score 41 points every week, but yeah.
I think. Well, I'm gonna just say this, I will harp on it more when we get to the topic, but I think they go as far as Tua takes them, the offensively, just because we don't know exactly who Tua is or what he is yet. So I'll just say I think they go as far as Tua takes them.
Okay.
At the end of the day,
I can get with
I
that.
bet. I bet best 0-2 team or the 0-2 team that is most likely to make the playoffs. I hope that I chose a team that y'all didn't choose because I wanted to be devil's advocate here.
I'm listening.
Oh, y'all want me to go first? All right, bet.
Yeah.
Since I'm playing devil's advocate, I'm going with the Falcons, yo. Yo, with the Falcons. Since I want to be devil's advocate, it's too easy, bro. It was too easy of an
Come
argument for me
on,
to
man.
pick. For me to pick the Raiders or the Bengals or the who's the other one? The Raiders, Bengals. There's somebody else that's 0-2 that's supposed to be a playoff team. Who is it? Wasn't the niggas?
The Panthers?
No, not the Panthers. No. They cooked them.
The Colts should be 0-2, but yeah.
Yeah, the Titans and the Colts, yeah. But
we should have just said winless teams then, huh?
We should have, because I looked at the Texans and the Colts. I was like,
I
pick the Texans. I can fuck with the Texans.
But God, that's disgusting, Greg. That's disgusting.
But I'm picking the Falcons just because I don't like their division, y'all. I don't like their division at all. I don't like what they got going down there. Outside of the Bucks, that shit look a little wide open, you know what I'm saying? I think that, and the only reason why I picked the Falcons and why it was easier for me to play devil's advocate is because I feel like in the AFC, I feel like it's kind of set-ish in a way of what teams are gonna make it. Like how we said, all them 2-0 teams, we dropped the Giants. That means it was 5 teams left. 4 of them were already AFC teams and only 1 NFC team. And if we go look, at the standings and whatnot in the NFC, yeah, every team 1-1 besides the Bucks too. So I feel like it was something easy for me to channel in, but just to dive into stats wise and whatnot, and the history of the Falcons a little bit from previous years. Falcons are 18th in offense, 19th in defense. Not the best, but out of all the 0-2 teams, those were the best. -1 turnover differential was also the best out of all the 0-2 teams. Also, like I said, the division is a little bit more wide open in my eyes. I feel like not wide open, but their chances of probably making the 2 seed or them chances of probably making it somewhere in there is a lot greater than them. If
the
they
2 seed in the conference or in the division?
No, in the division.
Well, I was about to say, what the fuck?
Whoa. I'm not tweaking out like that now. I'm not tweaking out like that.
Well, I was like, wait a minute.
Like but yeah, to get second in the division. My bad. But yeah, second in the division. I feel like the NFC is a little bit more open because it's a little bit more hard to tell. Like I said, you already got 4 teams that are 2-0, and we all saying are going to make the playoffs. So that only leaves 3 slots left. And if we talk about other teams like the Dolphins, Chargers, and I don't know anybody else, then that's curtains closed. But and just the way that they've been playing the last couple years, and just how they've been showing that they're playing out, them boys play hard. They ain't going away every game. Them boys play, yeah, exactly. They haven't been awful. That's what I'm saying. They're never really as bad as we say they're gonna be, or as bad as we think they're gonna be. Them boys play every fucking game. They're gonna be in not every game.
Last week they were getting their ass beat 28-3, but they made a comeback, so that counts for something.
Yeah,
they made a very good comeback actually.
And they do that every week because for some reason them boys be like, no, they come in the first quarter, they be like, yeah, we're gonna tank, and then after halftime they be like, nah, let's not do this and let's not tank no more. So that's the only reason why.
The ball, so that Drake London got kind of good.
Yeah, exactly, and that's my boy. You know what I'm saying? That was my offensive draft crush. Yeah, there we go.
This is disgusting.
Yeah, man. I don't see why they couldn't,
I mean, I could give you a myriad of reasons why, but I get it.
I mean, yeah, it's a plethora of reasons why a lot of teams can't make it. But I just didn't want to pick the obvious teams. Like, that's not fun.
Well,
I'm listening, bro.
That's not fun, yo.
If he won't, I will, because that was trifling. All right.
Nah, yo. Watch. They're gonna be second in the division.
They in the bottom because they never know how to finish the race. It don't matter if they up 28, down 28, they will lose, brother. It just don't matter.
Shout out.
Nah, they got this, yo. Because somehow they still end up with the fucking 9th or 10th pick in the draft somehow.
That's not
good. It's not good, but it's close enough, yo.
I'm gonna go with the Bengals, and the reason I'm gonna go with the Bengals is because even though they're 0-2, that division is very fraudulent right now. It is.
Whoa.
What? We can talk about it. We will. We can talk about it. All right. Pittsburgh Steelers just had their best defender rip his damn chest.
Sure.
Then you look at that offense, it is top 3 bottom stinky flaming poop. They cannot score. They cannot move the ball. It's disgusting. And they're at the top of the division right now. Pittsburgh is at the top. Baltimore is in a situation that it seems minor right now, but it might end up being big. You were up against the Dolphins and you lost that game. Lamar Jackson had 300 yards passing, 100 rushing.
And they lost.
It's seeming like you guys can't get it done. Now that fan base is going to be like, what's up with Harbaugh? I don't know.
I've seen a little bit of rumblings on my Twitter. They talk about Harbaugh. I don't agree personally. I don't, but I can see why.
It takes its toll. It takes its toll because think about it. He's been around for a long time, and we ain't seen a Super Bowl. Things like this happen. Going to the playoffs is nice, but when we keep doing it and keep ending up in the same spot, some people like change. It's just what happens in the NFL. Plus, we still ain't signed Lamar Jackson. So what is the future really finna hold for us? We don't know. And then you got Cleveland. Masseuse boy is gone. He's not here. And you're depending on Jacoby Brissett. You're depending on Jacoby Brissett.
Hey, that's a Bill product right there.
Bill products ain't good, brother.
The Browns were a minute and 33 seconds from being 2-0.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm gonna say.
What happened?
They were a minute and 33 seconds. They were a busted coverage and a Joe Flacco masterclass at the end of the year.
Joe Flacco in 2022 is coming back to beat your team. That's awful. That's awful.
That is bad. That is bad.
Okay. So I too said the Bengals, but not because the division is bad. It's because the middle of this schedule stinks. It reeks of piss and shit. Let me tell you something. So they play the Jets this week. They didn't have Miami, Baltimore, and New Orleans. I don't think New Orleans is elite, but they're a solid team.
All right.
After that, for the next 5 weeks, they have the Falcons, the Browns, the Panthers, the Steelers, and the Titans. If they could go 3-2 or 4-1 in that stretch, they are right back into the playoff race. If that's saying if they don't lose every game from week 4 to week 6, which is Miami, Baltimore, and New Orleans. And out of all these teams that are 0-2, they have the best quarterback. They have the best wide receiver. They are probably the most battle-tested. I mean, the Super Bowl run means something, even though the Titans have been to the playoffs damn near every year since Vrabel has been there.
Yeah.
They have the best quarterback, best receiver. I think they have the best defense out of the bunch. I don't think they'll make the playoffs because 11% of teams since 1990, so the last 32 years, 11% of the teams that started 0-2 make the playoffs. The last team to start 0-2 and made the playoffs was in 2018.
Don't tell me.
It's been 4 years and 5 seasons since that's happened. So I really doubt it. But if, let's say from week 3 to week 12. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games, right? Say they go 5-4. They're 5-6 going into Kansas City week 13. Like they're not out of it at that point. You know what I'm saying? So I think they could. I don't think any of these guys are going to make the playoffs. But if it's one of them, it's because the Bengals' schedule stinks in the middle, and I'd probably go with them because I just think they have the most offensive firepower and the schedule's not that good.
Stu was the 0-2 team. The Bears.
In 2018,
Yes.
I could not tell you. I thought it was the Bears or the Raiders, one of the two. But yeah,
It wasn't the Raiders.
okay. So probably the Mitch Trubisky Bears, you know.
I
They
could
could have won
imagine.
that playoff game, yo.
Shut the hell up! I'm sorry.
Catch that damn ball. Wims.
Yeah, was that Javon Wims?
Wims.
I was finna call that nigga Kevin White, but that's
like Wimps. Weak ass.
The hell is that?
All right, Don. You ready?
Yes.
It's your time to shine, baby boy. I'm passing the torch over to you, yo.
Time for crime.
Get it popping, yo. This you.
Yeah, we here to talk about a special thing that's going on right now. We're watching two quarterbacks who received a lot of backlash from me. Honestly, I sometimes led the chant. Like,
at least you're honest, nigga.
Yeah, I led the chant.
He said he was in the front lines. Yeah.
But it just goes to show sometimes if you see the qualities in your young quarterback, stay patient, build your team around them, and watch it grow. And right now we're watching two beautiful things grow. Let's start with Jalen Hurts. When Jalen Hurts was drafted in 2020 in the second round, first of all, I thought he stunk in Oklahoma. I did. Great runner, awful passer. It was the case. It was the case. So rookie year, he ain't played. Carson Wentz is starting. He wasn't even second string. I think second string like Seth Rosenfeld. So he gets to sit a year. Another thing with these teams too, a lot of these quarterbacks that get drafted, like we'll go to two, but like we got to remember they're getting drafted to absolutely awful teams. It isn't like it's already a championship team that just need a quarterback. When San Francisco was, but that's a different time. But
we'll talk about Trey Lance whenever he plays again.
But a lot of these teams are absolutely awful, and a lot of these teams will end up having a new coach. So it's a whole new scenario. It's not something you can just straight away just win. It takes time. Depending on the coaching, it may take too much time, but it's something you really have to wait for. So the next year, Jalen Hurts, he plays. Just remember the depth chart.
It was bad.
Quez Watkins was starting. JJ Arcega-Whiteside.
Jalen Rager.
What was the dude? Ward from Houston.
Greg Ward. Houston legend Greg Ward.
He was cooking. He
was a quarterback in college, dog. Please.
Was my man from Miami, Travis Fulgham?
See, you feel me? That's what he was working with. Look what he got now.
It sounds like he should go back to it.
No.
There you go.
Devontae Smith, AJ Brown. And think about it. Even last year with their offense, they had the number one rushing offense. Now they're just like the top three offense, period. Passing and rushing. And the one thing about Jalen Hurts is, even though I used to say he stunk, I could have never said he don't work hard. Every step of the way, he's worked hard. I mean, that's the definition. He was in the gym all the time, in the field, working ever since Alabama, did what they had to do. And trust me, they had to do it. But he's been working at this, man. And it's beautiful to see. Sometimes you just got to wait it out. Look at Tua. All right. I hated Tua. All right. Because people thought Tua was better than Justin Herbert. I've been seeing that he wasn't. All right. So it's pissing me off. All right. I really wanted Justin Herbert in Miami. That's what I was my dream.
It was grinding your gears, bro.
Yeah. Then I realized Justin Herbert is a Chargers fan. So, okay, it's a good situation. He's gonna love it there. You feel me? Tua's first year, he played halfway. Flores kind of hated him.
Oh, Flores couldn't stand that nigga. Oh
And
God.
He said, "Why did y'all pick this Hawaiian?"
Flores wanted her. Flores
can't
wanted her.
I can't blame him. You know, Flores is a ball knower. So
Flores didn't know. He knew.
So he put in some Fitzpatrick, still won his 10 games, and it looked stinky for Tua. It did. Why is an old senior citizen looking better than you right now? I mean, it was disgusting.
He's getting bitch for Fitz.
You know. Then the next year it was like, all right, Tua, here's the keys. It just wasn't there. It still just wasn't there. But do you remember that depth chart?
Oh yeah, nigga. It's terrible. Worst line in the league, probably.
Worst
Receivers was Devontae Parker, halfway, and then Waddle. And
Albert Wilson.
Smush Parker.
Albert Wilson, Gasecki and shit.
Disgusting. Look who he has now. Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Wilson.
Steady.
Brand new coach, even though Flores is my boy, future Panthers coach.
Don't forget about your boy, Don. Your boy at tight end. Yo, shout him out. You shout him out every other pod.
He's
Shout him out, yo.
I mean, but he always
keep standing with him.
And Gasecki's always a weapon there. So, you know.
He's a weapon, all right.
Keep standing with him.
If he's a weapon, that nigga's like a plastic spoon. That type of weapon, sure.
So it just
nigga like a spork.
Call that nigga.
Think about it. Both of these guys took how many years they took? They took 2 years. It took 2 years. It took 2 years to finally see the results.
Mm-hmm.
We're in a league now where it's like, man, if this rookie don't do good the first year, I don't look at Justin Fields right now.
Pray for Justin Fields, yo.
Justin Fields off his rookie year.
Bring him here, yo.
So if they put Justin Fields in off his rookie year, everybody's like, yeah, I don't know about this one. Nah. It's already rumored that he's gonna leave. Get traded at least.
Bring him here, yo. Shit. Give me a mobile guy. Shit.
That's just how the league is. And it's because of guys like, I can't even say Mahomes because he's sat a year, but the one year he actually got to play 50 touchdowns.
Yeah, he fucking turned up. He's an outlier. And I wish people understood that there are outliers in the world.
Josh Allen, the perfect example. He's looking like an MVP candidate. He stunk the first 2 years for real.
I'll never forget he threw that goddamn 50-yard Hail Mary damn pass in the playoff game to a fullback. Yeah, Josh Allen is the greatest guy TV has ever seen.
But look at this too.
I like this guy.
You remember his depth chart? Who was his?
Oh, yeah, his first 2 years it was bad. It was bad. The Bills roster was atrocious.
John Brown was
Jamison Crowder
and 17 and what was that? 17 and 18.
One Cole Beasley there too.
Yep.
Yeah, Cole Beasley was there for a minute. Yeah. I don't think 17. I think Cole was with the Cowboys at that point.
See what I'm talking about?
He was there.
These quarterbacks are going to stinky rosters. Then it gets built up. That's how it should be.
Okay. So my whole thing with young quarterbacks is we have an unreal expectation of them as quarterbacks when it's the hardest position in pro sports to play. And guys like
unreal.
Huh?
I apologize. I didn't mean to cut you off. Can you give us an example of unreal expectation?
Thinking that they're going to be a top 15 quarterback the moment they start in the NFL. That is extremely unrealistic. I want y'all to just think about how hard it is to be good as an NFL quarterback. There are 32 jobs of these on the planet. If you're not one of the 32 best players on earth at this position, you will not start. It's damn near fucking impossible to do. So that's one. Two, those outliers you were talking about, Gray, they have ruined everything. Everything. It started with Andrew Luck. Niggas saw Andrew Luck come in and start throwing fucking flame-throwing dragon shit with the worst offensive line we've ever seen. They were like, oh, shit. Well, any big, strong quarterback could do that.
I'm looking, I said, damn, the Colts in the AFC Championship already.
Then it comes with Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson was good when he first came in. Everybody was like, okay, he can do that too. Then it went to Kyler and then Burrow and Herb. Like these guys, and Lamar to an extent, he was the 32nd pick. So, like,
But you got
everybody wants these guys to be at least show superstar potential year one. That is extremely hard to do. Second point, Dom made a good point. A lot of these rosters are bad. They're very bad rosters. QB wins isn't a stat. So if your quarterback is losing a lot in his first couple years, it's not, I won't say it's not his fault because we've seen niggas like Daniel Jones and shit stink it up like all the time. But like, you can't place all that blame on a 22-year-old quarterback that was just playing football at fucking Oklahoma in the Big 12. Nigga, he's playing Oklahoma State. You think Oklahoma State and the Los Angeles Rams are the same type of competition? Like, that's not how this works. You know what I'm saying? So to me, teams need to do a better job of not putting these quarterbacks in disadvantageous situations, man. Like, everybody wants the Texans to draft a quarterback this upcoming year. Somebody explain to me what he would have coming into the league that is advantageous for that quarterback that he will not be asked to do everything year one. Like, there's just not. The offensive line isn't good, and we won't know it's good until week 18. The running backs are Damian Pierce, who's taken 45 NFL snaps, and Rex Burkhead. The Brandon Cooks is the best wide receiver on the team. Brandon Cooks is going to be gone eventually. They're eventually going to trade Brandon Cooks.
Yes, I think Houston's ranked last in offense right now as we speak.
The second best receiver has cancer right now. Is in cancer treatment. The fucking tight ends.
Oh yeah, Mechie. I was like,
Mechie,
damn,
like,
dude. I was like, damn, bro. I didn't know you hated him
The
that
defensive
much.
backfield is fine. I like the defensive backfield. I like Dez King and Derek Stingley and Jalen Petrie. That's a
Stingley
solid.
is a boy.
And Javier Thomas. That's a solid.
You know, I'm gonna stand with my boy Petrie. Yeah.
My Stingley takes is going to heat up soon.
But like, bro, you can't like the Bears drafted Fields into a situation that couldn't have been any worse. They couldn't block, they couldn't run. The only good wide receiver doesn't separate. The defense was injured previously. Khalil Mack played 6 games with Justin Fields. And I don't even think Justin Fields played in those 6 games for real. Because Andy Dalton started a good portion of the games last year. Well, at least at the beginning of the season. So teams just need to do a better job of not rushing the quarterback thing. And I get it. Again, it's the most important position in pro sports. But if you get it wrong, you are fucked. But if you get it wrong and the rest of your roster is good, at least you have some leeway. At least you have some wiggle room so we can get this guy into an average quarterback and still field a competitive roster. If Justin Fields isn't literally fucking Superman, the Bears are going to stink. If Zach Wilson doesn't come and be Steve goddamn Young, the Jets are going to suck again because they didn't have the infrastructure. So teams need to do a better fucking job of that, bro. Stop making 23-year-old quarterbacks the franchise. I mean, you make them the franchise, but you have to build a good enough roster like the fucking Lions, man. Like the Lions. Whatever quarterback the Lions draft in the next 2 years is going to come in and be like, shit, I got guys. Like, not just a guy, guys. They have a deep backfield. The wide receivers are good. TJ Hawkinson ain't as good as I wanted him to be, but he can still block his ass off.
He's serviceable. He's serviceable.
He's a good tight end. He's fine. You know what I'm saying? For the 8th pick,
nah.
But he's a good tight end. You know what I'm saying? And the defense has young pieces that they're trying to build. So you just have to be better in surrounding these guys with better players, man. Don't just be so goddamn horny to get a quarterback because you need one. Nigga, if you don't ride it out with Jared Goff for another year and then find out what you got, you know what I'm saying? That's all I be wanting, man. Just be realistic about how your team is going to look when this quarterback gets in. And if you have, let's say, again, the Bears, for example, everybody in their goddamn mama knew if Matt Nagy didn't go to the playoffs that year, he was gone.
Yeah.
Why? On last year, the year after they drafted Fields, why would you draft a quarterback into a regime that's not gonna be there if you stink? Now you just threw everything off, nigga. Ryan Pace didn't draft Justin Fields. Matt Eberflus ain't draft that nigga. So why would I pour resources into a quarterback I don't believe in? That's when you draft Jaquan Brisker and Kyler Gordon, and then the wide receiver you draft is 26 years old. That's what happens, man. That's what happens. You have to get the infrastructure right and stop switching fucking regimes when you just get a new quarterback. If you're gonna draft a quarterback, you got to stick with that regime for a year, bro. At least another year. You know, the Chargers fucked up doing this. They're lucky that Herb is generational. That's the only thing that saved the Chargers. You knew Anthony Lynn wasn't a good coach. You knew he wasn't. But you was like, you know what? Let's get him a guy anyway. And if he fucks up, let's get him, just kick him to the curb. What if Brandon Staley said, nigga, I think you're Trevor Simeon, or I think you're basically Brock Osweiler?
I mean, I would have been cool. I would have said a trade.
I mean, yeah, sure. But like,
internally, you want
what do you do about
Carson,
that? Your owner drafted this nigga from with the old coach, and now this GM and the coach don't like him. Then what? It has to be better from the top down, bro. That shit is sickening. Cause like, there's no way you could tell me Justin Fields, bro, has thrown 28 passes in 2 games. How many teams are there in the NFL, guys?
32.
32, right? How is Justin Fields 33rd in pass attempts? How is he behind a backup?
Because
that doesn't make any sense.
Because remember, Lance played a game, then Jimmy G played a game.
How is your starting quarterback, who has played Graylin, I don't give a fuck if Joe Montana came out of retirement and played for
Bruh,
it
talking about Fields, right?
matter.
We're talking about Fields,
28
right?
pass attempts in 2 games?
I know, we still talking about Fields, right?
Yes, man.
Okay, that's why. Because the nigga be having 5 attempts at halftime. So yeah,
it was a monsoon, yo.
That's insane.
No, fuck the monsoon.
I don't give a fuck. Throw the ball, bro. Mac Jones threw a quarter of the amount of passes that Justin Fields did in a blizzard last year, Don. In a blizzard. I'm not trying to hit none of that. This is literally coaching malpractice. Literally. If Zach Wilson played this Sunday, he would have almost just as many pass attempts as Justin Fields has in 3 games. That is coaching malpractice. Even if you think Justin Fields is the worst quarterback you've ever seen in your life, you have to be able to evaluate him. How the fuck you evaluate a quarterback on 28 passes? That's a first and fourth to throw for Tom Brady in them. Like, it's just bad. Your infrastructure got to be better, man, for these young quarterbacks. It just got to be.
Nah, it definitely is. And I kind of want to piggyback off of both of y'all and just dive into the patience on the young quarterback thing, man. NFL speed, college speed, high school speed, those are real. Like, really, like we like, you got to take that in consideration, especially when you're talking about young quarterbacks that just got drafted. That transition from college to the NFL, and how I will say this: in college, at the quarterback position, I didn't play, but I feel as though, from the defensive perspective, that it's fast. Hell yeah, you got to make decisions on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like you still got time to think a little bit. When it comes to NFL speed, that shit has to be second nature to you.
Nigga, your processing speed has to be lightning fast.
Exactly. I feel like, what I'm saying, even with your pre-snap adjustments and everything you're doing before you even hike the ball, bro, like that is a different speed than it is in college, man. Because you got in the NFL, because you're playing against somebody that's just as smart as you, but can literally see everything from all the way up in the skybox, and you're just looking at what you can see right here. You know what I'm saying? You got somebody really game planning against you that can see everything while you can only see so much at a time. So, I just want everybody to really start taking that into consideration, that like it takes a second for these quarterbacks to really adjust and really get into the NFL kind of flow of things, because like you said, the outliers of the group, the guys that just come in game 1, 2, or 3 and then just start looking like, they've been in here for 5, 6
I
years.
should have mentioned Cam Newton too. Cam Newton
Cam
might
Newton,
have been the greatest
Cam
thing I've
Newton,
ever seen in my life, nigga.
Some of the outliers, you know what I'm saying? That's just not going to happen for everybody. You could talk about it for Brady. You could talk about it for Peyton. You could talk about it for Aaron Rodgers even. You could talk about it for a lot of players that we all look up to and call GOATs now. You know what I'm saying? They weren't the outliers that we thought they were, but they're the best players that we ever seen. They had to sit a year or two. They had to take their L's. Peyton Manning threw the fucking most interceptions for a rookie quarterback ever, but now we recognize him as the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? It's all about patience. You got to realize what you got. You got to be able to work with your quarterbacks. You got to, and what I mean by work with your quarterbacks, it's not even giving them time. I understand, like, you may not have drafted that guy, and that's the kind of thing I don't agree with about a lot of head coaches that come into a position with a quarterback that they didn't draft necessarily. I get that you didn't draft them, but just because you didn't draft them doesn't mean you don't try to work with them or work with their skill set or try to, make it more advantageous for the whole offense rather than just be like, I didn't draft this guy, so screw it. I'm going to focus on other shit just so we can get this guy out of here. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of how you said with the Bears. They said, okay, I ain't draft Fields, so we're going to draft defense. Fuck the help. Fuck getting him help. He's going to draft defense. Like, I don't agree with that. Because obviously you kind of have something there. It's not like Justin Fields is, let me not say him. Some bum ass quarterback. He's not just a terrible ass quarterback. So that's why I don't fully agree with just saying, screw the quarterback. It's not my guy. I'm gonna focus on other shit and build other shit for him to be on his way out.
Look at the ball in New York. You feel me? Daniel Jones, they 2-0.
Oh God.
Give the guy a chance, man. He'll show you what he can do.
You ready to end the pod, Gray?
I mean, I am.
Yeah, all right, let's go, man.
I'm about ready. Now you gotta say what you gotta say first.
Oh, you talking to me, yeah?
Yeah, you.
I love y'all, man. Everybody be safe. Don't do drugs. Don't do nothing. Okay, just don't do shit. Just don't do it.
Listen, a lot of y'all are grown ass men and women. Do whatever you want. That's all I gotta say. Swank.
Josh Allen MVP, man. I just want y'all to remember the QB guru right here.
What happened to Kirk Cousins MVP, y'all?
Brother, listen. All right,
that is what you said now. That's what you said.
That was fun to ride with while it was said, but let's be serious. All right.
He said it was a fun ride for 1 week.
It was a fun ride for a week, nigga.